I remember this so distinctly. I was involved in the pit orchestra for a musical at my high school, and one night before our very first performance, I actually hit a 105 fever. I'd been having some stomach issues up until that point, so we definitely had appointments and knew something was wrong. But it wasn't until that evening when I was rushed to the hospital that I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis. High school was really, really difficult for me. I just never felt good. One of the things with ulcerative colitis is you're constantly, at least for me, going to the bathroom. And so not only did that affect me, I would say, in the sense that I wasn't in class as often as I wanted to be or needed to be, but it was embarrassing to be amongst my friends. I mean, what 15-year-old girl wants to discuss what's going on, with their body at that time? The hardest part for me is just how much that I missed out on. Birthday parties and events and things like that, even my prom was affected by it. I didn't go to prom. One of the things I really loved because I was part of the band was going on our band trip every single year. That was something that I just could no longer do because I was really tied down to the medications in the hospitals that were keeping me back here in Maryland. Out of all the books in my extensive collection, I would say that this one speaks to me the most. You can tell by its really poor condition. I read this one so many times in the hospital. The story is about these two sisters, one really, really shy, and the other was the brave sister. She comes down with some mystery illness, and her more shy sister has to step up and carry the torch. And I think for me, it represented two halves of me, and that's why it spoke to me so much. Yeah, this book saw me through 5 years in the hospital, so can't let it go. Still my favorite.
So I met Kim at a time when she had been given the diagnosis of ulcerative colitis, and she and her family were struggling with trying to figure out what were going to be the next steps. Kim had very severe ulcerative colitis that did not respond to the medical therapies that she had been given up until the time when we met.
Dr. Oliva, I remember the first time that I went in and saw her, just her presence and her attitude, there was something that said, this is the plan. If you work with me, if you partner with me and your family does the same, we're gonna get you through this. The two main things were gonna be, one, a really aggressive diet change, and then two, more importantly, surgery was something that was down the road for me. And that was something that up until that point that had never really been talked about before. We were trying a lot of other treatments and we weren't getting anywhere with that.
Kim underwent what we call a colectomy first. The diseased colon or large intestine was removed, and then subsequently, the intestines that were remaining and that were healthy were reconnected so that Kim's GI tract can function normally.
I woke up from that surgery and life was just not the same anymore. All of those really nasty symptoms that I had been experiencing before, for whatever reason for me personally, kind of went away overnight. And I remember Dr. Oliva said to me, you don't have to take medication anymore. All of these pills, all of these infusions, it was just done, kind of, in the blink of an eye.
Kim's outcome is great, her future is bright. She has been able to move forward with her life, have a wonderful quality of life, be able to do the types of things that she would like to do. And I really want to give the message to the parents of children that have inflammatory bowel disease that with the wide variety of medical therapies, nutritional therapies, and surgeries that we now have at our disposal, that their children can have a really great quality of life. And I think with Kim's story, what we see is that it's achievable moving forward into adulthood.
I do think I'm making up for a lot of lost time. I look back at those years and all that I couldn't do, and now I'm at a place where I'm just I want to do everything. I started volunteering at an organization called the Maryland Book Bank. I'm now coming up on my 13th year at the organization as the program director. And I met my husband, Matt. We've gone on amazing vacations and trips and adventures together. These are things that I just would not have done before. I didn't date a lot in high school because I was dealing with this, and so I didn't know that that was in the cards for me. And it's so funny, I look back on those years when I was sick and I look to where I am now, and just watching that journey and all that I've been through, it's incredible to think where we are right now and just how great life is.